Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to figure out if this company is playing a shell game or building an empire. Today we're diving into a filing from Nukkleus Inc, and let me tell you, this one has some interesting tidbits about their acquisitions and their grand plans for 2026. Before we dive in, if you like getting clear, simple explanations of these dense corporate documents, please hit that subscribe button. And hey, join our Discord community linked in the description below. It is a great place to chat about these companies and share insights. Alright, so what we have here is essentially an update from Nukkleus Inc. They're letting everyone know about some recent acquisitions and giving us a peek at their strategy for the upcoming year 2026. Think of this as them saying, hey, we're making moves and this is how we plan to win. Now, they are registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC as we call it affectionately, and the company's stock is traded under the ticker symbol NUK on the Nasdaq stock market. They also have warrants out there which are essentially options to buy their stock at a certain price, and those trade under the ticker NUKL. This filing is a Form 8, which is like a special report to the CC. Companies use it to announce big news that investors need to know about right away. In this case, the big news is about their acquisitions and their 2026 growth strategy. Now, the company itself, Nukkleus Inc, is incorporated in Delaware. It is interesting to note that they identify themselves as an emerging growth company. This means they are a relatively new or smaller company that gets to follow some slightly simpler rules for reporting to the CC. This often gives them a bit more flexibility. They've elected not to use the extended transition period for new accounting standards, which means they are jumping right into the newer rules, which shows a commitment to transparency. Let's talk about their registered securities. They have their common stock out there, and for every warrant, which is like a token that gives you the right to buy a share of their common stock for $92. This $92 price is a key number to keep in mind if you are looking at their warrants. This section is basically them saying, hey, we're sharing some important information with you all at once so everyone gets it at the same time. It is all about fair play in the market. The information they are sharing includes updates on their acquisitions and their big picture plan for 2026. They are also being very clear that this information isn't technically being filed in a way that makes it legally binding for future filings. It is more of a disclosure. Now, this next part is super important and something you see in almost every filing. They have a whole section about forward-looking statements. This is where the company talks about what they expect to happen in the future. They use words like will or plan or objective. But they are also warning you that these are just predictions. Future events are unpredictable and many things are outside of their control. They mention specific risks like their ability to successfully integrate new acquisitions, realize expected benefits, and manage their working capital. They also point to their financial statements for more details on these risks, and they emphasize that actual results could be very different. This is their way of saying, hey, we're optimistic, but things could go wrong. This part is like the table of contents for the documents attached to this report. The most important exhibit here is Exhibit 99.1, which is the actual press release titled Nukkleus Inc. Provides updates on acquisitions and outlines its 2026 growth strategy. This is where the real meat of the announcement is. They also have a cover page interactive data file, which is basically a digital document for easier analysis by computers. And finally, we have the signature. This report is signed by Menachem Sholem, the Chief Executive Officer. This shows that he, as the top executive, is attesting to the accuracy of the information presented. Okay, so let's put on our detective hats and dig a little deeper into what this actually means beyond the official corporate speak. This filing is all about Nukkleus signaling its intent to grow and expand. The focus on acquisitions suggests they are looking to grow not just organically, but by buying other companies to either enter new markets, gain new technology, or consolidate their position. Their 2026 strategy is clearly built around this aggressive expansion. However, as their own forward-looking statements point out, acquisitions are tricky. Integrating new companies can be a nightmare of differing cultures, systems, and visions. They are also talking about financial statements and the going concern qualification, which is a polite way of saying there is a question about whether the company can continue operating for the next year. This is a major red flag and something investors should pay very close attention to. If a company has a going concern qualification, it means their auditors are worried they might run out of money. The fact that they are pushing forward with acquisitions despite this going concern qualification is a bold move. It could be a sign of great confidence in their turnaround plan, or it could be a desperate gamble. They mention improving their ability to access capital markets, which is crucial, especially if they are struggling with the going concern issue. Without access to funding, these growth plans will simply wither away. Looking at the bigger picture, Nukkleus seems to be in a phase of aggressive growth, aiming to establish itself more firmly in its market. However, the going concern qualification, coupled with the necessary reliance on external funding for their acquisition strategy, presents significant risks. It is a high-stakes stakes game they are playing for investors, this means carefully watching their cash flow, their debt levels, and more importantly, how they manage and integrate these new acquisitions. If they can pull it off, they could see substantial growth, but if they falter, the path ahead looks very uncertain. This is a company to watch, but with a very cautious eye. Alright, that is our breakdown of Nukkleus Inc's latest filing. What is your take on their aggressive acquisition strategy? Especially given the going concern note, do you think they are on the path to success or facing serious headwinds? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this analysis helpful, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out, and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And don't forget to join the discussion on our Discord channel linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next videos.